if you can change your outlook, change some of your values, and change your rules, you'll find there's a whole other set of rules out there that are more conducive for people who want to be rich. The story of Rich Dad, Poor Dad is really a story of two different fathers with two different sets of values and completely different sets of advice. So I don't mean to insult anybody or, to damage your values, but really that was the difference. For example, my poor dad always said, go to school, get good grades, get a high-paying job, work hard, live below your means, save money, get out of debt, have a good retirement plan. And that was my poor dad's values. My rich dad said, you probably won't get rich doing that way because very few people get rich following that plan. If you take a look at this 40-year run on the dollar is designed economically to lose money every single year. So why would you save something that loses money every year? And what this means for somebody on retirement plans is that after you retire, the value of your dollar goes down and your cost of living keeps going up. To my rich dad, that was bad advice and made no sense. Again, it was different value. I consider a direct selling business a perfect business is very simply because the company will work with you to get the business skills that make you rich. Always remember that it's not money that makes you rich, it's business skills. And that's why it's a perfect business. They'll take as long as you like to get the skills to make the money. And that's a lifetime skill thing. The other part about it is the low startup costs. Where else can you get in for under $500 and get these skills? The number one asset a person can build is build a business. That is the smartest thing you can do. Years ago, I decided not to follow the corporate ladder simply because, again, it was values. My poor dad always said, go to school and get a high-paying job with the government or a big corporation. But my rich dad said, why would you work so hard at something you'll never own? You can't sell your job. You can't pass it on to your kids. So to me, it never made any sense. It made more sense to build my own business and hire other people. The other reason is that you really don't have much control if you're in the corporate ladder world. For example, you can get fired at any time, or today we have what's called M&As, or mergers and acquisitions, where another company buys another company. So you could be a great employee, but the company that buys your company just fires. It's not a get-rich-quick formula. You don't just do it overnight. It takes time. I still remember the first time I made that transition was back in 1978 when I fully quit my job and I had to depend upon my company that I was building to support me. So I understand the fear. The beauty, the most important thing to remember is this. There's two kinds of people in the world. There are the types that will say, you'll never make it. And I had a lot of friends and family saying that. You're stupid, don't do it. And the second type were the people that said, go for it, you can do it. Don't worry about it, we'll cover you. So the most important thing is support of friends and family. One of the beauties of a direct selling company is that they provide that personal support to you for as long as it takes you to make the journey from the left side to my rich dad side. One of the challenges of being self-employed is that you're your own boss. You're the solo act. Like in the S quadrant, you're the individual. You do it on your own. Whereas in the B quadrant, you're a team player. You have to depend upon your team and count on your team. So the problem with being an S is that, let's say you're in a traffic accident, there goes your income. And let's say you get older and you haven't set enough money aside to retire on, that means you'll probably have to work for the rest of your life because you don't have anybody else to fall back on, not a team to count on. So one of the problems with the S, although most people say it's the most satisfying of all work, it is a solo act, and you're totally on your own. Personally, I'd rather be a member of a team. They can count on me and I can count on them. We all know the world has changed, but sometimes the hardest thing to change is ourselves. And being an old guy, I sort of know the older I get, I sometimes get more set in my ways. And I think that's one of the things that a direct selling business offers people, why it's the perfect business. They allow you to take your time to make the mental, emotional, and physical changes required to move from the left side to the rich dad side. I think that's a big thing. It's a very gracious, it's a very elegant way, it's a patient way of supporting you in making the changes of your life. So please remember, change always creates upset, but sometimes we all know we have to make those changes. And if you know it's time for you to make that change, then the perfect business may be a direct selling business for you.